Really isn't much here at all, apart from dust and donkeys, I would say.
And camels.
Yeah, so and camels. So what the heck have we been doing here?
Welcome to episode 9 of the Nomad Things podcast, the real story of digital nomading as a family. In this episode, we'll talk about why we ended up in a small town, Morocco, for a month.
We've been in Morocco for a month now, down south in a little town called Mirleft. You've probably never heard of it. It's 5 hours south of Marrakesh, a couple south of Agadir, which is the last sort of international resort town. That town, Agadir, is a bit of a soulless place like you'd find on the Costa del Sol. There's villas and pools and international brands, McDonald's. And say what you like about Mirleft, it's definitely not overdeveloped at the moment. That development is coming, but I wouldn't say there's all that much to do in Mirleft at the moment for your international tourists.
No, it's not there yet. So why Mirleft? Well, I was looking at Worldschool hubs. We've not done one before. So I was checking a few of them out to see what might be a good one to try. And the one here, Mirleft Cultural Cove, stood out. It caught my eye because it's a 4-week hub. So a lot of the hubs are only 1 or 2 weeks. And that, I don't know, strikes me as not being long enough for, kids take a while to warm to each other and want to actually interact. So
we had a great kid and his mum here. They were here a couple of weeks. Took about a week for him and Alfie to kind of bond a little bit. By week 2, they're getting on. They're really getting on now. They're doing well, and he had to go, and it was a shame.
But anyway, so 4 weeks seemed like a good idea, and also the hub here, they appeared to have a lot to do with the local community, a lot of interaction with the local culture, and really getting in amongst it all. So that was a big tick. And a bonus, it was affordable, and also Morocco, it's not in the Schengen, so it's not counting our days. And also Morocco, we always wanted to come here.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And that cultural integration was made it really special, I think, particularly for Alfie. He Omar and Hafid, the two guys that help out here, they're just awesome. They are hilarious. They're so, like everyone in Morocco, they're so friendly, so genuine, full of fun. And I think they just enjoy themselves hanging around.
Yeah, they're like the cool older cousin or uncle for Alfie, and just really great male role models for him to hang out with.
Especially, with their sharp clothes and their sharp hair. and Hafid every photo of Hafid is no shirt. There he is, like some kind of Instagram god. Just flexing. He lives his life down on the beach, having a way of the time.
Yeah.
But everyone knows him in town.
Yeah.
Him and Omar, they just know everyone. So we've been able to go places, and the kids have got opportunities you just couldn't get without them.
Yeah, and they walk down the streets and they're like, oh, people recognise them. And especially because they've been hanging out with Hafid and Omar, there's that extra layer of, you're cool.
Yeah.
And the lady who runs the show, Alia, she's amazing. She keeps everything ticking along and really tailors things to the kids in the hub, their energy levels, their interests, and she just keeps everything rolling, keeps communication going so parents know what's happening every day and where you might be picking your kids up or where, what time, because things don't always run strictly to schedule.
No, this is Morocco, baby.
It's Morocco time. And she keeps them all well fed.
Yeah.
And because Alfie's of that age where he will eat everything, it's definitely been important.
Yeah. No, she's got kids of her own, and she's really good at judging when those kids need a little boost. You know, you just see them start to flag, and there'll be a juice on its way, an ice cream, or some treat, something like that, just at the right time. Or, okay, we've had enough of that, let's go do something else. It's not turn up and you've got to do this and you've got to do that and you've got to do this and the kids are all done. You know, it's not that at all. It's okay, they're not going to make it through a day in this kind of heat with a strict schedule of you must do this. It's laid back and flexible. That's perfect.
And there were a couple of days there where there weren't so many kids turning up for various reasons. So she just flipped and went, well, for the younger kids, you can stay here. We'll make some Play-Doh. Alfie, you're the only older boy today. Off you go with Omar and go get a haircut. And go with Hafid and Omar to the local gaming shop, or, you know, go play on some PlayStations. So just being able to mix it up depending on, you know, what kids have turned up that day. It's been great.
Yeah. And when the hub finished, us parents will come down, you know, oh, we're at the beach. Well, we'll come down there and we'll all hang out. And Ali is still down there and Omar's there, and you can't get her feet off the beach. He lives there, I think. And we'll just play and hang out for another couple of hours. Yeah. That's not official hub time, but where else would you be? It's the place to be.
Yeah.
And, you know, we'll go out and we'll have meals, and we with the other parents, and breakfasts and coffees when the kids aren't around.
Yeah, and at the weekends, you know, sometimes we'll hook up and do other things, go out for a camel ride.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all very easy, and, you know, as much as you want to interact with the other families, you can, you know, there's instant community there, which is cool.
Yeah. And in this kind of environment as well, where it's very family oriented in Morocco anyway, and all the taxis are shared taxis, everything is shared, food is shared, everything is shared. It's so easy to just get into that mindset. It's unhurried. You can't have a meal in under 2 hours.
No.
There's no problem. Something's 30 kilometers away. That's a 2-hour trip, you know. I mean, it's an hour. I'm joking, but it's no rush, and you share, and your kids are having the same experiences, so you've got that in common. And all of us here have all had work, you know, we're all distance working. So kids are at a hub, we'll all go out for a coffee or a breakfast or something, and then get back to our separate places, just not shared accommodation. And we'll go on with some work.
Yeah. And speaking of the whole shared aspect as well, Fridays at the hub is family day, where we all learn to make some Moroccan specialties. So we had tagine week and couscous week and professor and but we'll talk about food later.
As always.
Yeah, and then the final day we all made something and brought that from our family recipes.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's that whole sharing side of the culture.
And we've had some night outs.
Yeah, nights out.
And we had a bonfire party beach party down at the beach. Bonfire party down at the beach.
Bonfire. And Hafid and Omar and Alia, they all love to dance and get the kids all worked in and the parents. So yeah, it's always lots of fun.
During the hub days, the kids get to do, because of the integration with the community, they get to do so many things. There's no way you would be able to do anywhere else, or if you didn't know someone here.
People.
They've gone to the local special needs school, had lunch there, seen how they roll. They've been to the mosque, which is
pretty special, because here in Morocco, only the mosque in Casablanca technically allows tourists, you know, non-Muslims to go in. So for the hub to arrange for not only the children but also the parents that wanted to go along for a prayer time, it was pretty special.
And somewhere like that, you're thinking, oh, there's all these rules and we have to photocopy our passports to be able to go because it's so unusual.
Yeah.
And you go in there and you know, it's any place of worship, you're thinking, oh, I don't really want to offend anyone. Am I doing it right?
Yeah.
you shouldn't really be here. You get that, anyway, you feel like that. And it wasn't like that, was it?
No. And there was a lovely lady there, and she was almost in tears. And they went, "Oh, it's so lovely to have you all come into our mosque and see what we do." So they seem to really appreciate us going there.
Yeah. And the other places they've been, so you can imagine in hubs, this is our first one, we don't have any comparison, but you imagine if you're doing some crafts, if you're doing it in the hub, okay, you're doing some crafts. But here it's been, we're going to go to the leatherwork place where they make all the traditional shoes and bags, the Berber kind of style leatherwork. We take the kids there, and they hang out in the little shop, and they use the tools, and they see how that's done.
They made their own little key
rings for shoes. And they did Berber artwork where they did basically lino cuts with the Berber style designs on them, and then printed them out.
Lantern making,
and
they all got a lantern to take home. Might struggle to put that in the carry-on, but we will get there.
But yeah, just we couldn't arrange things like that just to turn up into the shop. It's right there. That's where the shop is. The guy is selling these lanterns, and they get to sit in the shop and stamp out metal parts for the lanterns.
Yeah, and they've been to a local bakery and learned how to make khops, the Moroccan bread, and got to bring their hobs home, although I don't think any of them lasted all the way home. They were got eaten.
Those kids are not the full loaf.
And Olaison went to a local restaurant and made pizzas and things.
Yeah.
And the restaurant opened early and on their day off so that the kids could go in there and learn those things.
And then they've found all the little local spots that you couldn't find on a map if you looked. The local swimming spot down in the river, the little oasis. No way you'd find that. They've been up the fort. They've been to little beaches, not just the local one where they they hang out every day, but to these other little beaches that are just nothing but dirt tracks off the road. You wouldn't see them. And they climbing rocks. They've been looking for octopus and crabs and all kinds of
surfing down sand dunes, rolling down sand dunes. Yeah, so they've been in taxis places and on the local bus, which is an adventure in itself.
And there were Hondas in the back of trucks, basically sharing with the locals. And it's not just that kind of shared stuff. They've also been to luxury pools in resorts and all kinds of things. So yeah, no, it's been incredible. There's no way we could access any of that stuff.
No. So for the hub to facilitate all that, it's just well worth doing.
And in terms of Alfie himself, Hafid and Omar, like we said, they're superstars. They're like the super cool older, cousin, older uncle, whatever, who's showing them what it's like to be a cool kid in town and giving them the confidence to just go anywhere.
Yeah, and that's that confidence. We were just sitting once at the local coffee place, and Alfie was going to just head home early by himself, and we didn't say anything, did we? And he just wandered into the shop, said goodbye to the young fella who works there, and then went home. There was no need for him to do that. He could have just got up and gone straight home, but no, he went in and said goodbye. Yeah,
because it's the local way, isn't it?
Yeah,
you know everyone.
And also, we haven't mentioned they're learning the local language, the Darija, the Moroccan Arabic. So he knows a lot more than we do.
Yeah.
And yeah, every Monday is souk day, and the kids will get a little bit of money and have to go and buy something, or they can buy themselves some treats. But they have to talk in Darija and ask how much is it and practice their numbers and do all that. So it's really handy taking Alfie places because he can say something to us that we don't know how to say.
And it's good the fact that because he's been hanging out with the boys, he's got the confidence to just walk anywhere in town by himself with us, doesn't matter. Any time of day, middle of the night, doesn't matter.
Completely safe.
It is completely safe. The people that love him. But he can walk wherever he likes, go into a shop, grab whatever he wants, say hi, get whatever he needs. He can show you around the souk, and the souk is, you know, it's quite an intimidating place. It's everyone else here is just, you know, sort of openly lovely.
Yeah.
The people in the souk are like hard-nosed bargainers, you know.
They're not from Mirlife, are they? They kind of trickle around the whole area. So the souk's in a different place each day of the week. That's why it's here on Mondays. So they're not Mirlife.
No, and so they are quite intimidating because they're not making much, you know. The souk is not very glamorous, is it? It's just piles of second-hand clothes thrown on the floor and things, you know, and you have to rummage through what you want, and it's kind of like a rummage sale, and they're ready to haggle over just small amounts because they're not going to be making that much.
Yeah.
And in that kind of environment, to see him just stroll up, give a little nod to the guy,
Go to the nut man.
the nut man, yeah,
And goes
his candied nuts, and just, you know.
this big bag full of nuts.
Hope you enjoyed that. We are Nomad Things, and we'll be back next time with more about our day-to-day life here in Mirleft, or as we like to call it, Mirlife. In the meantime, if you like our content, hit the subscribe button, check out our blog at nomadthings.guide, and of course follow us on Facebook and Instagram.
It's been a month and we've been in Mirleft hub schooling. I'm going to say stone.
Don't matter.
No. Well.
Same kind of thing, size.
That's it.